Good day. We are still on lesson 7 of the CAC Sunday School lesson series for this first half of 2021. The topic has been the God-anointed Gentile Cyrus. Cyrus was a Gentile king that God used to restore Jerusalem and to return the captive Israelites to their homeland. We discussed Division 1 last week, and today we are looking at Division 2, divinely and purposively given conquest. The two sections of this division are A. God gives him conquest, and B. God moves him to release Judah. So A. God gives him conquest. As foretold in the prophecy in Isaiah chapter 44 and 45, God raised Cyrus for the deliverance of his people Israel. This is seen clearly in Isaiah chapter 45 verse 4. God would raise Cyrus and give him conquest according to the prophecy. And according to Britannica, history has it that Cyrus could have been killed as a child because of the fear that the king, who was on the throne at that time, had that Cyrus would grow up to rebel and take over from him. Great qualities were found in Cyrus, even as at the age of 10. However, Cyrus was spared, and at the age of 21, he actually rebelled and took over the kingdom. He had conquests that formed the Achaemenid Empire, which lasted for about 2 centuries. He was called Father by his people, as he was seen as the deliverer who overthrew his tyrannical father. Cyrus was well known for his great conquests and administration, and his fame went as far as Greece and the environs. He is called Cyrus the Great. And in the year 1971, Iran celebrated the 2500th anniversary of the founding of the monarchy by Cyrus. God had given the prophecy regarding Cyrus before his birth, and God moved on to fulfill that prophecy and sustained him as he became king and made conquests. All this for the deliverance of his people, Israel. According to Jeremiah chapter 29, from verse 10 to 11, God had said, when Babylon's 70 years are complete, I will attend to you and confirm my promise to restore you to this place. For I know the plans I have for you, declares the Lord, plans to prosper you and not to harm you, to give you a future and a hope. So what God says he would do, he does, and nothing can stop him. B. God moves him to release Judah. Cyrus was prompted by God in the first year of his reign to decree the rebuilding of the Jerusalem temple that was destroyed by Babylon. Cyrus himself would make a proclamation in writing in 2 Chronicles chapter 36 verse 22 that the Lord, the God of heaven, who has given me all the kingdoms of the earth, has appointed me to build a house for him at Jerusalem in Judah. Whoever among you belongs to his people, may the Lord his God be with him, and may he go up. Cyrus' proclamation was not a result of some conversation he may have had with some of the Jews. It is clearly stated that it was the Lord that steered Cyrus' spirit to do so. God had plans, and it was Cyrus he chose to fulfill it. No one else can take that credit. Cyrus did not ignore the steering in his spirit. He followed the leading and took action, calling on the Jews who still had the passion and vision for the fulfillment of God's agenda. He empowered them with the necessary materials and sent them to fulfill the task. God had prepared some of the Jews to run with the vision, and they gave of their possessions and made sacrifices for the rebuilding of the temple. Cyrus also returned the articles of value that were taken from the temple in Jerusalem by Nebuchadnezzar. He ensured that everything was returned. These are listed in Ezra chapter 1. God had preserved these things through the 70 years of exile. As God raised Nebuchadnezzar to punish his people, he had raised Cyrus to deliver them and to return them to their land. The return of the Jews to their land ensured that Jesus was born, lived, and was crucified in Israel. Cyrus' call could therefore be said to be strategic. He fulfilled his part in God's eternal agenda. Lesson summary. God works through anyone he allows in a place of authority, believer or non-believer. All souls are in his hands. When he has a mission for anyone, he provides every resource to fulfill it. May his promises and purposes be fulfilled in us in Jesus' name. We've come to the end of Lesson 7. Lesson 8 begins next week. Hope to see you then. Have a blessed week ahead.